All right, boys and girls, day 2 here at the show. The venue just opened up for VIPs and whatnot, and we are not messing with the Tops booth today, as it is pure and utter chaos. Literally 3 minutes after they let everybody in, this is what it looks like. And it is absolute madness. There's no box of cards worth that amount of craziness. I'm glad I knocked that out of the way yesterday because they seem ill-equipped for this. I'm just going to take a little lap around this thing, give you guys an idea. So that Sea of Humanity is the line looping back and forth multiple times. And then here is the end of the line. And then it wraps through all this shenanigans and nonsense, which they're doing a slightly better job keeping it off the show floor, but we will see how long that lasts. But definitely chaos incarnate. It doesn't appear there's a separate VIP line, but a little tricky to confirm. And good luck to anyone waiting in the line, as you hear every WWE entrance theme about 45 times. All right, boys and girls. Today's video, sponsored by our good friends over at comc.com, set up here at Fanatics Fest. Thanks to partners like this, make it easier for me to travel to shows like this. So if you are attending some of these larger events, you could do in-person drop-offs at the show, and they will take them straight to the vault for you. So if you're not using ComC to buy or sell, go check it out. Once again, shout out to ComC, channel partner, for sponsoring today's video and making it possible for me to travel to destinations like this and give you boys and girls this sort of coverage. All right, it is midday on the show floor, Saturday, 11:30. The card section is much busier than yesterday. I've talked to some dealers. They're all saying that they're having pretty good shows. Though the foot traffic is about a perfect blend of it's busy enough for the dealers and it is easy enough-ish to walk around. Like, I don't have to fight my way through tables to get to stuff. But you can see there's definitely a lot more foot traffic today than yesterday, which is to be expected. And once again, I'm in the card section. I'm not over by all the league activation stuff. And as I said yesterday, you know, the inventory here is great. You are seeing a lot of mixed stuff, like Pokemon, non-sports, Lorcana, sports cards, all sorts of craziness. We'll walk over here. The Cards HQ buying station's right over here. I'm curious to see what their line looks like. But once again, the show floor definitely a lot busier today. So much like yesterday, though, the Cards HQ buying line is very short. Card Collector 2 is over here. We'll see if he has any line. So here's Ryan's booth here. So a little bit. There's 4, 5, 6 people in line. Not super crazy busy at all. So that part remains the same, but as you can see, the aisles are much busier today from the actual card show portion of it. I haven't spent a lot of time over in the air quote league activation areas. We're kind of walking towards that now here. I heard it's craziness over there with all the kids and stuff. I'm also interested, it's been a couple of hours, as we'll walk past the Tops booth real quick and see what that line looks like. But we're kind of walking down one of the main aisles of the show floor right here. So the Tops line still looks a little chaotic. So definitely still a lot going on here with the Tops line. So, all right, we're going to sign off here. We'll give you guys another little update in a little bit. As we can see here roaming the show floor, Beckett has spared no expense on their booth, and it is absolutely slammed. Boy, can we get some line management over here, folks? All right, little update from the Tops booth. So they're actually doing what they were supposed to be doing today. The general admission line is super long. And then you see this little thing right here that says skip the line redemption here. If you still had the little piece of paper that was in your swag bag, in an hour, you could cash that in and actually skip the line today. Like an idiot, I left mine in my hotel room because I thought that they were worthless, because yesterday they weren't using them. Today they were. So I went back to my room and got it. I walked right up and literally had to wait about 30 seconds to get a hobby box and another blaster. So tomorrow, if I want one on the third day, I'll have to wait in line the entire time. But today it worked absolutely flawlessly. Now, I will say, this morning, the line was super long, even for the VIP. It went all the way through these gates. But quite frankly, because I just waited a couple hours and came back with the pass, I was able to save basically a bunch of time. So they have been capping it. They do sell out at some point in time during the day because there's a limited number of boxes. But at least I got the money's worth out of the one-time badge usage for the skip the line thing. So we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna walk around the show floor more. I just walked through like the activations area. We'll just kind of walk across the thing here. This stuff is way busier today. There was a huge line at the NBA experience. This is the hockey one where you could do stuff. There's a pretty decent line for this. You get to shoot on goal. The WWE thing is way, way busier. It's even hard just to get up to it. I'll walk over there real quick. But this stuff is way busier today. Like, I was able to walk right up to this WWE thing yesterday with little to no problem, and that is not the case today. I can't get near it. Like, this is the line for it right here that I'm walking past. Yesterday, there was no more than probably 15 or 20 people in line at a time. And today, it's absolutely slammed. We'll go around the corner here really quick while we're right here. This is the MLB fan experience. I actually haven't spent a ton of time in here, but they have some home run derby stuff. They actually have a little miniature field set up. That's what these people are in line for.
Did he hang on? Yes, he did. A sliding catch by South Freeland up against the wall.
But yeah, the experiential stuff is way busier today, like way busier than it has been all week. So, all right, we'll update again in a little bit. All right, we haven't spent a ton of time on this side of the show floor. This is where a lot of the other league experiences are. We're walking past UFC there. You can pose with the title belt. They have the octagon over here to the left that you can go in and pose. The league stuff, as I mentioned earlier, way busier today. The WWE booth has by far and away been slammed today. A lot of the wrestlers are here today signing, and they're sneaking them in to come out. So LA Knight just walked out, and I don't think anyone really knew it, and everyone went absolutely ballistic as the surprise factor. So on this side of the building, which is the smaller side of the building, it's still pretty damn big. This is where the NBA experience is. So they're doing a three-point or free throw contest here. The line for this is pretty long. But this stuff is all a lot busier today than it has been on Friday, for sure. The card side of the show has definitely picked up. I spoke to a number of dealers. They seem to be having pretty good shows. A lot of that was made today. So over here we have a podcast studio for iHeartRadio where they're doing content. WNBA stuff was over here. And then on the far end of this building, it's a little thinned out over here now, is the NFL experience, where you could do the 40-yard dash time. I saw Gronk doing this yesterday. And I think this is similar to, so people have mentioned this is similar to what they have at the Super Bowl. They have all the Super Bowl rings on display right there. Every single Super Bowl ring ever. And then over here, you have people running the 40, and it pops up with your time. Once again, if you were coming here with kids, this would be a fantastic show. I remember my dad taking me to All-Star Fan Fest as a kid when it was in Cleveland for the 97 All-Star game, I think it was. And I remember having an absolute blast, and it was nothing like this. Kids are definitely eating this event up. So like if you're thinking about, if this thing comes back to New York, which it's going to. It sounds like it'll be LA and New York twice a year. Once early part of the year for LA, late part of the year, probably fallish for New York. This will basically be a biannual thing now. And like I said, this is way more than a card show. You got to take that into account when you're thinking of this event. You can see there's tons of stuff going on here. This is a whole kids zone over here. There is a ton of kids at this event. A ton. Tons of families. Way more so than what you're going to see at the National. Here is the soccer area. We're going to cut through there. Up against the back wall is where all the autograph signings are and photo ops, and that's kind of messy back there. I have heard not great things about that experience, but I haven't signed up for any of them, so I have no firsthand knowledge on how that's gone, but I've heard not great things, at least yesterday, specifically around the Knicks. Back in this section are a bunch more little shopping areas. Mitchell and Ness is back here. Their booth's right over there. Lids is right there. I don't know if the mic picked that up or not, but you'll randomly hear people screaming in the background all the time as different athletes randomly do things throughout the show floor. They have done a really good job of getting athletes out on the show floor doing some of these experiences. For example, multiple NBA and NFL players have walked out through the WWE thing. You know, you're seeing a lot of that stuff for sure. This is a little bit of a food court area, which is kind of nice. Places to sit, full bar. Yes, full bar. Dustin, the sports car dad, would be happy as he loves to get beers at shows. Sports Illustrated has a pretty big setup here. That's this section right here. They have like a museum thing. And then this big black wall that I'm walking towards is the Jay-Z 4040 Club, which is an invite-only thing. And I'm definitely not that special. Here's the Sports Illustrated stuff in here. They have all sorts of cool stuff on display throughout this little room. So a lot of stuff to do. I'm gonna head back over to the cards section and see what's going on over there this afternoon. All right, it is 3:30-ish in the afternoon on Saturday. Just gonna kind of take you guys on a little quick walk through part of the dealer area, just to kind of show, one, how much busier it is today. We'll just kind of bob and weave in and out of lanes here. But dealers are definitely having a good day today. Mixed reports yesterday. I talked to some guys that, you know, it was meh. Today, everyone seems to be having a pretty good day. I don't want to say everyone, but you know how it is. The foot traffic in the building at large is way up, which you've seen in the other videos throughout the day, but specifically the card side is way busier now. And I don't remember where I heard this. If I did, I'd credit the source. Someone had said a lot of people were talking about the East Coast National yesterday and said they would attend that yesterday and come to this today. Now, I don't know how much of that is this, or how much of this is just because it's Saturday. Because it is much more crowded today. It is much harder to get up to a dealer table and walk through the show floor. There's little pockets where it's empty. I shouldn't say empty, but a little bit lighter. But generally speaking, you can see foot traffic is way up on Saturday. Like I said, the league stuff is absolutely insane. David Adams not looking too busy, but we'll cut across here. So the show floor on the dealer side of the room is kind of broken up by this hobby hall thing here off to the right. That's where they've done a lot of the panels, the hobby oriented panels with the seating area and stuff. We have the Fanatics Collect booth there in the center. And then this is the other big main dealer section over here. So once again, I'm not anywhere near the league stuff, and it's pretty busy right now with about 3.5 hours to go on Saturday for the show floor. I am planning on coming in tomorrow just for a little bit, probably up until lunch, so I'm not sure how much content I'll shoot tomorrow. I have not bought anything today at all, card-wise, singles-wise, I should say. I bought some Topps boxes and stuff, like that aisle I'm not even going to try to walk down. I got another hobby box and a blaster box like I commented on earlier, but I haven't bought any singles yet. I'm going to roam around this afternoon. I got a couple more hours on the show floor before I have to go. Wife and I have dinner reservations tonight. So, all right, that's it for right now. All right, end of day 2. Out here in the lobby, looks like a panel just let out or something because there's people running everywhere. Down on the lower level. The lower level downstairs is where the main stage is at, which I have not gone to at all. That's where all the huge panels are with like KD and Tom Brady and all those guys. I've heard those have been very well attended, and that area is pretty big. So you can kind of see, I'm on the main level, that's where the whole entire show's been thus far. But you kind of get a good view here. There is a complete whole other lower level to this building that they are using just for the main theater. Now, for comparison, for New York Comic Con, they use that entire lower level. They maximize out the space in this building. So Fanatics Fest is only really tapping into a small portion of this. This is the main lobby, like I said, and then it shoots all the way down to there. This building is absolutely huge. Way down at the end there's a set of escalators that takes you up to a separate upstairs area that, once again, they are not utilizing. There's also a river pavilion up there that they are not utilizing. But day 2, way busier than day 1. Way busier. I mean, day 1 was busy, but not like, oh my God, it's insane busy. It was just like a solid, steady stream of people. Today was pretty darn busy, especially in the activations areas, around the league stuff. The dealer section throughout the midday was way busier. It's about almost 5:30, 6 o'clock now. I just walked through there on my way out. It's starting to thin out a little bit. I've gotten mixed feedback from dealers. I've had some tell me they did absolutely great here. I had some tell me that it's, you know, a little bit mixed. I think it really just depends dealer to dealer. I think the problem is the cost to set up and the cost to attend, as in like hotels, travel, food, etc., is pretty pricey for dealers. So they have to sell a lot just to their break-even cost is way higher. Now, to be fair, big picture wise, if I was setting up at a show like this, my goal would be to break even. Now, I'm not a dealer. This is not my living. So who the hell am I to say how they should approach an event like this? But this is much more about the marketing aspect of it. You know, getting in Fanatics' good graces, if you will, especially if you're someone that's looking to try to get allocation for a shop. It would probably be pretty important that you set up here, or you're a breaker, or you have allocation, and you want to guarantee that it keeps coming. You want to make sure you don't get on that naughty list. So kind of like a cost of doing business type thing. That being said, if Grant comes up and spikes a card at your table, you're probably going to get a bunch of social media exposure from it. So, you know, what type of value do you put on that? You know, one of the Paul brothers was walking around today shopping. Grant Williams was walking around shopping on the show floor. Livy was walking around shopping on the show floor today. You know, if one of them come up to your booth and, you know, buy stuff and you get the Instagram reel out of it, what is that exposure worth? That's hard to put a price on that sort of stuff. Is it worthless? No. Is it going to make your show for you? Also probably no. You know, it's somewhere in the middle. Overall, I've had a fantastic time attending this show. I still have one more day tomorrow, though it's not going to probably be a full day. It's so tricky to compare it to a card show that we are used to seeing. It is not that event. That being said, there's a lot of, they call it like a 3-ring circus. There's a lot going on in that room. And in part of that room is a hell of a 300-ish table card show. The inventory in there is fantastic. There's insane 90s stuff in there. Any rare or high-end 90s insert that you're looking for is probably here. I saw cases with green PMG basketball cards in it. Super rare Griffies, super rare 90s NBA stuff. High-end ultra modern, high-end 90s stuff. Vintage. There is a decent amount of vintage at the show. Not a ton, but more than I thought would be here. I think I mentioned it in either a live stream or one of the other videos. There is no wasted table space at this show for the dealers. Every table that you walk up to has really good stuff. Now, and it's not all high end. There's definitely a ton of mid-range cards. I bought 2 cards that were $100 a pop. So it's not that insane to think that, you know, you can find good deals on stuff here. There are some value boxes here, not a ton. I mentioned that in yesterday's video. But overall, it's a fun show to attend. If you have kids or a family and you're bringing them along with you, they would lose their minds at this thing. Absolutely. Now, is there some gripes? Absolutely. The VIP experience has kind of been bungled from the beginning. I'll probably do an entirely separate video on that. That is definitely an issue. There's some stuff they could have done in the dealer hall that was way better, but it's their first time out of the gate with this. So those are some of the things that I expected to be a little rough, and they have been. That being said, it was still a good show to attend. It was still fun. I still had a good time. Did I get my money's worth out of it, air quote? I have no idea. Probably not. Actually, I know for sure not. But I had a good time. I had a good time looking at cool cards, buying some stuff, and hanging out and talking to a lot of friends, new friends and old. So that's all I got for the end of day 2. I've got to get back to the hotel room, change the clothes, and head out to dinner. We'll be back tomorrow. Not sure what we'll get content-wise. I'm just kind of curious to see what the vibes are on a Sunday in there. So we're going to be there. We'll check that out. And then once I get home, I'll do a full wrap-up. We'll talk about the VIP experience and how it was kind of meh. And by kind of meh, kind of really sucked. And we'll rip some exclusive products. I got some Topps Chrome boxes to rip. I got the lids thing to open up. We'll get into all of that into next week.